Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Frans Ubaghs. I am working for INTERTANKO, the secretariat in London. I'm Belgian national, now more than 5 years with INTERTANKO. Very short for those who do not know what INTERTANKO is about. INTERTANKO is an association of independent tanker owners. Leading the continuous improvement of the tanker industry. Goals are 0 fatalities, 0 pollutions, 0 detentions. So we try to help our members to deliver highest quality services. Very short of almost 4,000 tankers in the pool, about 180 full members. What we are trying to do or are doing for our members is first of all being a forum where members meet, share information, best practices. We're also an advisor providing guidance on all kind of issues which affect our members' interests and championing, so speaking and acting for the independent tanker owners. This very general, but I am secretary of the vetting committee of INTERTANKO, and I'll highlight a bit what the vetting committee is about, what we are doing, etc. So our activities, obviously SIRE 2, very high on the agenda. We do have regular meetings with the oil majors forum on behalf of our members, trying to have a very open discussion with them. Organizing vetting forums, organizing Seafarers vetting seminars. We had 2 weeks ago a very interesting vetting seminar in Manila for the Seafarers, almost 1,300 Seafarers in the room. Here again, talking about SIRE 2, how to prepare. Working groups in the vetting committee, working on the guide to the vetting process, well-known book of INTERTANKO, where we guide the industry what are the requests and the expectations of the oil majors, also port state control, etc. We have benchmarking tools. I will show that very shortly. We are working group on remote inspections, TMSA working group. So these are all issues which affect members and where we try to work together with the industry. Also others on the agenda, RightShip, CDI, port state control MOUs, and the IMO. Like I said, benchmarking tools on our website. Members can benchmark against others using the tools. There is the TMSA, there's the LTI benchmarking tools. Very simple tools actually, where you can see where you as a company stand against others using this system. Also very popular, the LTIs, vessel, port state control and vetting feedback forms. If you have issues with port state control inspectors, with vetting inspectors, you can report that to INTERTANKO, and we'll take that up with local administrations and eventually with OCIM, CDI and other inspection regimes. Now, SIRE 2, cooperation was key. Remember the MAC 4 when that came onto the industry was like, when is that applicable? Now it's applicable immediately. So the whole industry had to look into it, how to prepare, etc. Since a couple of years, this is not the case anymore in the industry. Everybody realizes that if you launch such new ideas, new documentations, new guidance, you have to buy in the whole industry. So we are working on a lot of issues together with OCIMF, be it on security. We have joint meetings with them. Our ExCom met this year, actually in May. They sat together, thinking of where can we work further together on issues which are relevant to the industry. IMO submissions, for example, are exchanged with each other before submitting them to IMO and seeing if we can support each other. We have the safety initiative, where members of OCIMF and members of INTERTANKO come together, developed the BCAF, for example, the tanker accident database. This one is discontinued for the time being. Still working on incident investigation methodologies. Human factors, the future element of TMSA, I can already tell you that the TMSA will not be reviewed for the time being. TMSA 3 is still valid and remains valid for quite some time. There is technical cooperations on the engine power limit, onshore power limit, onshore power system, sorry. So just to demonstrate that we are not working in silos, but working together, also with sector, with CDI, with ICS, with the EU, for example, on other on certain specific issues in Europe. Now, for the SIRE 2, the topic of the day. What OCIMF recognized is that we need the industry to work together on the SIRE 2 project. We had a question library, which was delivered to, the 1,394 pages, which was delivered quite early to INTERTANKO, to review it, to give our input, to look if all was accurate, what was mentioned over there. We had workshops with the vetting committee. There is the transition phases, which you are probably well aware, where we work together, where our members participate and exchange ideas. We are looking at future integration of IT systems. The idea here is you might be aware that all the input, what you have to do with the pre-inspection questionnaire, the HVPQ, it's all manual entry from your desks, and all this information is already electronically available somewhere, be it at classification societies, be it at Q88, be it at your own IT system. Why not get a sort of automatic upload to the OCIMF system? So we are working on that one. And then last but not least, we had years ago regular meetings with members specifically on vetting of the of OCIMF members, but also INTERTANKO members, so coming together twice a year and discuss the whole SIRE, where is it going, how is it going. So they called it the SIRE focus group, and still working on that one to re-establish, let's say. So, SIRE 2, we have to understand why. Why is the SIRE 2 not simply called VIQ8 or something like that? It is a complete change of mindset. It's a game changer, what we are looking at. And the reasons are listed over here. The VIQ7 contains too much of questions. That's clear. The inspector coming on board, having 8 to 10 hours to go through 200 questions. Yes, no, not applicable. No time to really inspect the areas on board the ship. I remember when I was still working for an operator, my advice to the master was always, when a SIRE inspector came on board, keep him as long as possible in the captain's office. Then he give him a lot of food, put all your papers over there, and he will spend a lot of time in checking paperwork, and not too much of time going physically on deck, physically in the engine room, to check in detail over there. This will not be possible anymore due to the preload of the pre-inspection questionnaires and the photographs, etc. So was not really risk-based, the VIQ7, where the SIRE 2.0 will be, of course, risk-based. Now, you all know that the human element, of the human factor, how they call it, is going to be very important during the SIRE 2 inspections. I'm sure we will come back to that in a short during these the sessions today. So, for those who are not aware yet, but you should already, there's the core questions. Core questions, 90 questions, not more. Yeah, it is not that it is a massive amount of questions. The core questions, the reason they are called questions, core questions, is where OCIMF or OCIMF members thought that these questions are so important. If they are not answered yes, or the inspector is not satisfied with the answer, that can lead to a catastrophic event. Then you have the rotational ones, the rotational 2 questions, all an algorithm which will calculate how often they come back. The conditional questions, depending on the history of the ship, the operator, and then the campaign questions. There are non-campaign questions now yet, but the idea is a bit like the CIC of the policy control administrations, which you all are aware of. So they will definitely be core questions at that time. Focus on the human element, very simple. Talking to crew, trying to explain or trying to understand if the crew knows why they are doing a certain job, how they are doing it, where they can find the procedures, the policy of the company, the checklists, etc. Procedural element, good. The inspector will ask to view certain documents, to view the checklist, to view the procedures, and then hardware, if everything is working fine on board. Where are we now? The rollout. We are in phase 2 since July, June, July. Phase 2, which means that a restricted amount of operators and all majors are going through a testing phase. Yeah. It seems to go quite well, phase 2. We don't know yet when phase 2 will be finished. OCIMF has said that the start of phase 3, where everybody will be able to subscribe or to invite an inspector or an all major to do a SIRE 2 inspection, will be possible. They will inform us well in time. So watch the space, watch the OCIMF website, watch the INTERTANKO website, where we will inform you when the phase 2 is up and running, and that you can take part for those who are not taking part yet. What is INTERTANKO doing more? We are working on the Seafarers practical guide. So the 1,310 pages. We thought, like, what is not really practical? Where do you start? You're a junior officer coming on board of a ship which has maybe to go through a SIRE 2 inspection in the future. Where do I start? Start with the Seafarers Practical Guide, will be available next month. Yeah, where you can identify very easily the core questions, the rotational questions, where you can identify if the question is related to the human factor, to the hardware, to the process. And we try to make it very visual and very you can see it on the slide here. Very practical to see, okay, this is what I have to know, this is where it's going about. It is in no way the idea to replace the question library of OCINF, but at least easy to find the questions and the advices in there. Finally, what is the advice what we give to members? Well, if you have not done yet, review your TMSA submission, because every question in the SIRE 2 is related to a TMSA element. Once phase 3 is up and running, do participate in phase 3. You will not have the chance to do every ship in phase 3 transition inspections, but try to do at least each type of your ship type, what you have in your fleet. Identify the PIQ questions already, which are static and dynamic. Start to prepare your photos. If you have a rescue boat drill or a lifeboat drill, give a camera or a smartphone with the guys, and they can already start to make pictures of the hull, etc. And then raise awareness, of course, amongst the crew, train them. This is a brilliant opportunity given by OTG here to raise the awareness, to make sure that people know what is coming. SIRE 2 inspection, it's your crew's moment to shine. Yeah, look at it positive. An inspector will ask somebody on board how he does his job, why he does a job like it is. It is the crew member's moment that he can show off how good he is and how good your company is treating them, how good the crew is performing and operating the ship. The very last part, the very difficult part, is the charters, the brokers, the terminals, other stakeholders. We need to get these people on board to understand what is the SIRE 2 about. They should stop counting the number of observations. They should start to understand what SIRE 2 is about. It's not just counting negative observations, but there's much more data which will be available to the industry. And that's it from my end.